What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of Nalo Kicking Knowledge. Today, it's August 7th, 2015. We're moving right along through Leo season. I'm feeling good. I hope you guys are feeling good as well. Continuing with our Sun through Sign series, next up is the Sun in Scorpio. And I'll admit it, I'm a Scorpio admirer. And the reason I'm a Scorpio admirer is because I'm a Gemini. And as a Gemini, I like to do things fast, or I process things fast, and one skill I've had to develop is to go in depth into things, not take things at surface level, but look at it from every single angle. I use a lot of Virgo energy with that, dissect things, bring it to perfection. But I admire Scorpios because they have the gift of intensity and in-depth thinking and concentration, and the mind. This is one of the most powerful zodiac signs out there. I always say Pisces is the most powerful. I think it's self-explanatory why. And then second, I would put Scorpio. I think Scorpio is really, really powerful, and this is one of the hardest incarnations, I think, because what's going on here with these guys is intensity, all right? The moon in Scorpio is debilitated, and those people are overwhelmed by their emotions. The sun in Scorpio, they feel somewhat overwhelmed too, but, being that this is sun, it's just different. For instance, a Scorpio sun may be really intrigued by death. Okay? Don't know what it is, but they just curious about death. Alright? And that leads these guys, to, depending on how Mars is placed and everything else, leads them to become surgeons. Or, the archetype for Scorpio, I would say, is a detective. Because these guys, they love looking for secrets. They love holding secrets, okay? And they just have that mind to unravel a mystery. So this guy is a very, very powerful sign. Now, what is Scorpio here to do? Scorpio is here to experience death. Not physical death. Of course not. But spiritual death. Death of the lower self and assimilation of the higher self. Alright? So, how do they arrive there? Well, how does anybody arrive there? You gotta, put in the work of self-awareness to realizing who you are. And usually, the thing about Scorpios that they know is that they desire things. Like, they have desires. Whether it can be any kind of desire. But the thing about them and their desires, they're willing to do whatever it is to obtain that. And a lot of that leads to obsessing over what it is that they desire. So, on the negative aspect, it can make a person too absorbed into the material world. But on a positive aspect, it can make a person really, really industrious and able to create, okay? Knowing how to manifest things. But you just have to know, the opposite sign here is Taurus. So we just got to keep in mind, what do we really value? And whatever we value, we must be able to let go of. You see? All right? So Scorpio, that's what you're here to do. And the first thing you have to do is you have to learn how to control your desires. All right? Find a constructive outlet for your desires. By constructive, I mean education, music, any type of artistic endeavor, reading. Scorpios are avid readers. And these are the guys that these guys or girls love reading romance novels. Whenever I think about Scorpio, in the 8th house, I think about Dan Brown's Angels and Demons. I've never looked up like his sign or whatever, but when I read the book, I was like, yo, this guy has to be like a Scorpio because this is just like crazy. But yeah, Scorpios are big on reading and things like that because they have to find an outlet for their desires. So just take it and make it constructive, all right? Now, Scorpios have no problem walking on the wild side because in fact they're very much attracted to the wild side or the dark side, sex, drugs, and all that good stuff. They're here to experience that, okay? And they're here to filter out what works and what doesn't. All right? So Scorpio is going to come to a point in time where they realize that, wow, I'm working on a level of duality here. And this is a battle. That's how Scorpio is going to take it. That's how we should all take it, as a battle. Alright? So Scorpio is really fighting this internal battle with themselves. From my contact with Scorpio suns, alright, I know that some point in life, usually early on in life, they have to overcome their attitude. I don't really know. My best, suggestion to why that is because of Mars being their ruler, and for you Westerners, Pluto as well, Pluto's influence and stuff. So yeah, they have this attitude to overcome, and it's really, it's kind of like with just like with Pisces, it's an extreme. There's an extremist energy here. Scorpios, when they're good, they're really, really good. When they're bad, I don't even like using words like that, but when they're, dark, they're really, really dark. Okay? This can be the most brilliant detective or the smartest serial killer out there. These guys are something else. So, moving on, you want to overcome like that internal battle, all right? The higher self has to win. You have to do away with the lower self, or at least control the lower self, all right? So, for Scorpio, like this sun, wherever this sun is so I told you that's really why Scorpio's here, is that purpose. So how would this fit into your career? I think for a Scorpio, something where a mental and emotional career. Somewhere, a career where they can use their mental, okay, but emotionally connect with people. Because they're very much inclined towards wanting to know everything about people. I always say Scorpios have a person, they have a crush on you. Trust me, they do their research to find out about who you are. If you're dating a child of a Scorpio, they're probably doing the same thing. Like, I kid you not, there's people out there who confided in me about doing things like this. So really just something where you can put that detective mind and that need to connect with people emotionally, to use. Alright? So best fields I say is like psychology for sure. Detective work, police work, fire, anything to do with Mars, but more in depth. Alright? Anything in depth. Now, so far we've covered that Scorpio is here to experience spiritual death, where through the desires of the lower self, they realize the power and aspirations of the higher self. Okay? And some things that they need to overcome is the desires. Like, they need to learn how to control the desires, and they need to learn how do I say, not let their aggression or their Mars energy get the best of them, because there's some type of anger there that just looms, that just has to be controlled. All right? And anything else for Scorpio? Not really think so. I would just say, and I gave you some career advice, like, you guys should really just go towards a field that really lets you go in depth into things, So whatever. Scorpio could really do whatever they put their mind to, just because they have that gift of going in depth. So the world is yours. It's just a matter of who wins the battle of the lower and the higher. We're all going through it, but for Scorpio, if the lower one wins, you're going to regress in your progress. This lifetime is designed for you to sacrifice and let go. Alright? So I hope you guys enjoyed my interpretation of the Sun in Scorpio. I'll be back with the Sun in Sagittarius. And until then, peace.